Well, let's just start here. That is my shucks and silks and cobs from the corn I did the other day. I like to put the stuff back, like corn and corn cobs and corn stalks. There's a lot of nutrition in it for the ground. You put it in the compost, it's going to take for a while to break down because corn stalks take forever. But if you lay them on the ground, walk on them, it seems to break them down quicker, and you're putting everything that's in them in the chunk back into the ground. It's got to be spread out a little more. I was kind of in a hurry. I made several dumps here. But this is where the cauliflower and broccoli was. I got all of it harvested, tilled, and redone the soil. Added some more humus to it. Put my fence row up. This is where my fall tomatoes is going to be. I've already got them growing. I've succession planted about 4 different times on them already. This will be my 5th one. Here at the end, which is just now getting started good again. This is another planting of cucumbers. I'm having to think. It's early. This is my succession planting of cucumbers. Of course, you can see the tomatoes. Remember the odds and ends. My daddy's plants, I grew him. There's all shapes and forms, I'm sure. I don't even know what I got there. This is the start of mine, though. I think these are mostly all mule team. They're about head high. They're a little over 6 feet, some of them. They've done really well. You see some of the tomatoes sticking out. We're just now starting to get a tomato here and now. They haven't decided to start turning, but after this big rain, I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of picking going on the next few days. My cucumbers, they have taken over where I've got some of my scrap tomatoes from growing from my daddy. I wound up with more than I realized. They're under there. But the cucumbers have just really took off. I've planted them too close to these 2 rows of tomatoes on purpose. Really got them a little closer than I wanted to, but it keeps the hot sun off them in the morning and the evening. They just get direct sun and, midday. This is east to west. I plant north to south. Another row of tomatoes are getting to be head high. And they're doing good. They're loaded with tomatoes. Just all green right now. Like I said, we get a red one every once in a while. I'll show you the sorry in here shortly. My okra has decided to make a showing. I'm starting to get okra every day. I am slowly training this okra. It ain't really been thick enough to do it, but I'm getting there. Watermelon patch. Now, watermelon and weed patch. Trying to get it all done is trying to keep weeds out. It's amazing this year. It's been more job than I really wanted. But we're getting there. I'm slowly but surely getting it back under control. When it gets dry here, you can't pull the weeds. This clay soil, you can't pull the weeds up with both hands. You can cut them off, you can chop them down, and they're going to grow right back because they've rooted down in that clay. They've got good roots. When it gets wet like this, as soon as it gets solid enough you can stand on it, that's when you can take them out, roots and all. Of course, down there at the bottom is located minced peppers. This is what I did yesterday. All the corn's gone. See, there's just a few stalks left. I got all the stalks pulled. I got my drip lines pulled. Tilled it. It was really too wet. The corn had really held a lot of moisture because it was so thick and overgrown on itself. The rows was covered. It was just mud when I pulled them up. I managed to get it tilled enough to plant more watermelon here. Yeah, I'm having to think again. I've done too much too often. I've got 6 more watermelon plants. They're going to be late. Everything was late this year for me. We just had bad weather too long. We just couldn't get out and plant when I have before. Now, it's just Tennessee. It's a gamble when you get to do anything. Get up on the hill here. This is the other part I did yesterday. This is the other part I cleaned and tilled and built till. This is pumpkins. These pumpkins are, I think they're 75 to 90 days, which I've got time. I've already had them planted. They've been growing. I just got them transplanted. We should get pumpkins in October. Now these probably be quicker than another than I've got. I think these are 75 or 80 days. I'm thinking if they're a little shorter, I wouldn't have planted them. I've got some started that's actually 75 days. I'm probably going to do a video over. Down the hill. Let's see, that's zucchini. And you can see the squash bugs got me overnight. That was eggs. Got a nice zucchini down there. Too soft walk in. I'll have to wade out in it another time. Yep, just slid. Way too soft. Back up on the hill. That's Alexander squash. I believe that probably is too. The different color leaves, you can tell that that's yellow squash. Them too. Alexander squash, if you hadn't seen it, it's got a light color, greenish yellow. If I can get down there to it, but it's so muddy. Another Alexander, another couple of yellows. I grew them all. I mixed them together because they're all squash. They all should be happy with one another. These are some more runts from growing plants from my father. I wound up with, if you didn't seen it before, I wound up with several runt plants, and I wound up with several extra plants, and I needed to grow what he wanted and multiply it because, you know, things happen like frost and sickness, and well, he had a couple of hard rounds, and he needed 3 different plantings of them by the time he was done. Let's see if we can walk down through here. Of course, what's left of my corn. Just stalks. Here's my bell peppers. We had a load of bell peppers last year. So I didn't plant as many this year. We got overdone with them. See a couple bells on that one. The rest of them bloomed and got little ones, but looks like I got one damaged from the storm. I got to stand up. They're all just plain bell peppers, I think. I don't believe I ain't got a large one. I think they're all California Wonder. Banana peppers. Sweet bananas. You can see a few on that one. They're getting close. For a little plant, they do well. These last year, the first time I grew this brand, and they put on so many peppers, they pulled themselves over. You couldn't stand them up. They needed to be staked. It would literally break themselves down. I see an orange on a tomato. Jalapenos. Well, you see the back side of the okra. There's where my corn stalks is going. I put them on the back side of my tomatoes. Yeah, we're gonna have to slide up in here. Here's a tomato plant. It needs little help. You can see the orange. That's a good sized tomato. And it's stuck in the fence wire. That's cute. There we go. Back side of the tomatoes. Back side of the cucumbers. These big plants is my jalapenos. This is a different kind of jalapeno. These are the ones last year that got 6 feet tall. And they put on big peppers. If I can get the leaves out of the way, you can see that hanging in there. It's not done yet, and it's probably a 3 or 4 inch pepper. Alright guys, sorry about that. Phone cut off somewhere in amongst all this. I'm backing up just a second. Please look at that ripe tomato, and I don't know where I got from there. Me and my phone don't agree sometimes. I was going to show you, these are my other jalapenos. These was on the back side a while ago. Now you can see the front side of them. Got this one lonely, huge squash plant. I was out of room to plant stuff, and I had this one plant left, and I couldn't remember what it was, but it was by itself, and it was pitiful. And I stuck it down here at the end. Not thinking, I stuck it down here. I had planted cantaloupe. You can see a baby little cantaloupe there. But I planted my cantaloupe all the way up here, next to the cucumbers, which that's the row of cucumbers we're looking at. Cantaloupe's all the way out here at my feet. We're vining really good. Looks like we're starting to put cantaloupe on, thank goodness. My melon plants a lot of them got damaged or killed because I mixed some soil I bought from Walmart in a green bag that says something about being an expert on it. I'm not calling no names. It killed just about all my melon plants. I mixed just a little bit with it, trying to get them up potted for the garden, and it didn't work. Let's just put it that way. More jalapenos. They were the giant ones. They're already, getting close to chest high. They grow huge jalapenos. I've got some tomato plants coming up. I don't know for sure what they are, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a small grape tomato or a tomato or something in that area. I had some here last year, and apparently the seeds hung on, even though I plowed and turned the ground and rolled the ground and tilled the ground. They stayed somehow. Yeah, more of them here. This is the back side of where we started. Some oddball tomatoes left over from growing them from my father. There's a few volunteers. Here's the cucumbers I was talking about I planted. We're back around. Volunteer tomato that came up in the broccoli and cauliflower actually. This one did too. I never dug it up. I didn't move it like I did the other, and it's got tomatoes on it. Decent size for a volunteer. Who knows what it is. That's the grand tour. Garden 1. We'll do 2 and 3 later on. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope y'all are gardening. Hope you're growing stuff. Leave me a comment. Hit the like button for me. If you're not subscribed, I suggest you hit the subscribe button for me. Go have a good day.